Absolute bedlam. Absolute bedlam. Absolute bedlam. Talking about topics and stuff. Absolute bedlam. Absolute bedlam. Absolute Bedlam podcast. Who? What? Where? Why?
Dorset, England's gateway to the sea. Legends tell of how travellers and wayfarers would navigate vast oceans to meet the natural beauty of the Jurassic coastline. As the centuries have passed, only their song remains. Absolute Bedlam are proud to be sponsored by Shanty Spirit, the taste of the Jurassic Coast.
Hello and welcome to a kind of festive but not really festive episode of ABP. If you're listening to this, it's probably just about to become Christmas. So hope you're all doing well and hope the weather's slightly improved because it's fucking miserable out there at the moment over in Wareham. But yeah, there we go. So we've got Kit from Seething Akira on the other line tonight. So how on earth are you, sir? You okay?
I am. I'm living the dream, my friend. Yeah, living the dream. It might be cold, it might be miserable, but positive vibes. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right. It's good to meet you. Unfortunately, we couldn't get. Was it Charlie?
Yeah, Charlie is ill. Unfortunately, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be all right. We'll get him on at some point. But yeah, something I was going to say. That was it. Time sensitive one. So okay. Marty, you got to pull your finger out for this one, mate. All right, this needs to go up as soon as physically fucking possible. Kit, when is an acceptable time to put your Christmas tree up?
I haven't done mine yet, but I think like December 1st is okay. I prefer like December 8th, like that second weekend of December. I think that's your tree up.
My mum tends to do it the 13th of December because there's 12 days in Christmas.
That makes logical sense.
You know, people just do whatever the fuck they want, don't they? You know, wouldn't be surprised nowadays if I saw a Christmas tree in August.
Right. There's been a few people in Portsmouth. If you see them like up in April, and it's not because they put them up, they just haven't taken them down. So it's like, all right, yeah, like
they just live in the loft.
That inflatable reindeer is now just a year-long decoration. Like
you just put an orange light on it for Halloween, and you put an egg on it for Easter. It's all just the same shit. Yeah.
Hawaiian shirt for the summer, you know, just like keep it festive.
Absolutely, keep it relevant. That's what we like.
Yes, exactly.
So, Kit, first question I usually ask everyone, so I'll ask it second this time round, is how did you find school life? Was there anything that you could take away that was either positive or negative?
School life? Wow, that's a flash in the pan. I feel like I'm really dipping into the deep dive here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, school was interesting. I grew up on the Isle of Wight. I had a close knit of friends. I was like goth. I was just full out goth, living that goth life. But because the Isle of Wight's a small place, we called them townies back in the day. So I had some townie friends. I had some other goth friends. Just a real mixed match, like positives and negatives living on the Isle of Wight. But positive was just like it's so small you kind of have to get on to a degree.
Yeah. Yeah, the Isle of Wight's a weird one, isn't it? It's I've played there a couple of times when I was in my bands, and
Where'd you
it's
play?
a lovely Oborgs.
Obergs, yes.
Yeah, it was good. I actually had a stage,
Yeah,
which
like treated there.
yeah,
I think it must have been 8, maybe 9 years ago since I played Coburgs.
yeah.
I'd love to go back and do a little Isle of Wight show. It'd be a pleasure. It'd be well fun.
That's the only one I can remember. But yeah, is there any particular subjects or any particular sort of funny stories that you've got from school?
Ooh. Nothing's really coming to mind at the moment. I'll probably look back at this thing. Oh, I could have said this and this and this, but yeah, like I suppose just being a shit as you are, like just generally just being a shit.
Yeah. Can you disclose either something that you did or one of your friends did that was considered naughty at school? Like, what's the craziest thing you saw?
Oh, well, like drug use was kind of a thing. Like you saw some of the older kids just doing what they did, and like you live on the Isle of Wight, so you kind of tend to fall into as like a certain age group, one or two categories. Either like get a bit violent, a bit like chavvy, gangy, or you just take drugs and drink, and it's like that way out. So yes, but yeah, kind of you just seem to see people just go in one of those two directions, really.
Were you only living in the Isle of Wight during that period of school, or did you sort of hang around afterwards?
No, so I was born and raised, and I left at 20, and I moved to Portsmouth essentially for the band.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, I prefer. Well, first of all, did get to a point at some point. So I'm getting a ferry like 3-4 times a week, and it's just like, what am I doing? Like, I save so much time just moving here, and yeah, to be honest, it's just so easy. Like, if we've got that gig in London, I don't have to rely on Whitelink or it's just another means. I'm just here. It's just easier.
Yeah, I feel that. Portsmouth is a beautiful place.
Yes.
I absolutely love going there. I went there recently to watch Wheatus because I was on their VIP list because I know Brendan quite well now through this podcast.
Got you. Was that Moonshine?
Yeah. Prohibition Bar, I think it's known as.
I haven't been there yet, but I'm going to be on this Saturday, which is obviously have already happened by the time this comes out. But going to go there for the first time. Interested. Is
that going as a spectator or is it going as a performer?
Yeah, spectator. Just watching my friend Pete's band, Sylph. Big up Sylph.
Nice.
They're competing for the takedown slot. So
okay. Are you guys on takedown this year already? Is that confirmed or is it Icebreaker?
Icebreakers are definite. Yeah, we are headlining the Wedge, which would be really fun. It's been a very long time since we played the Wedge. So yeah, like super looking forward to that. Like really bring it home.
Yeah. Fantastic. I don't think I've been to any other venues in Portsmouth. I just tend to sort of go there because it's got quite a good shopping centre, and I love the look of the Spinnaker Tower, but I'm not fucking going up it. I can tell you that. I'm scared of heights. So
I went up there once for work.
Oh, right,
like a work thing up there. Went up there, and I'm okay with heights if I feel safe.
Yeah.
If there's like an edge and like you look over it, fuck that. But like if I'm in a glass enclosure and I can there's something resisting that, I'm okay.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, I really like Portsmouth. It's a nice, feels like a retreat, but it's also quite similar to Weymouth, which is where I'm from. So just 2 hours down the road, and it's a nice little day trip.
Yeah, I think like a lot of cities have got their ups and downs, but I love Portsmouth. It's a beautiful city, lots of stuff going on, interesting characters. Yeah.
So I found out who you guys are through Marty, my editor, from and the bassist. We've got a fan and question coming up in a bit.
Okay.
From who was it? Dan, the singer. We'll get to that in a bit. We'll probably get to that in part 2. But yeah, so your music. I always come up with really weird comparisons in this podcast for when I just start listening to music.
Okay.
So I'm getting a TRC vibe.
Oh, I've got a lot of time and love for TRC. A lot of time.
I'm getting a bit of an Enter Shikari vibe.
Understand, but I think more earlier Enter Shikari. I love their new stuff, but I think you're right on that.
It's more like the Dear Hazel and things like that, where it's like sort of monologue.
Yeah.
There's a song in is it Flash Flood of Colour or Constellations?
Yes.
And he's
I
kind
know
of
the one.
talking to himself about how everything's picking up and going crazy, all that sort of stuff. And also, there's a guitarist that I know relatively well now called Cloud Kicker, and
Okay.
he is an instrumental sort of genty riff lord, who's
Okay.
also known as Ben Sharp. And some of the
Oh.
riffs, like some of the songs that you've done, like Gravity and
Yeah.
DED, just have this kind of catchy, hooky riff, and it reminds me of the stuff that Cloud Kicker writes. So yeah, that's my free melting pot sort of hot takes for you.
Yeah, I can take that. I can take that. I've definitely been called worse. I'll tell you that much.
So Lucid Dream, I made a note of that on my phone. It sounds quite periphery. It's quite Spencer Stiletto.
Yeah, so that's got Stu Sarr from Archaon. Beautiful drum bumps, people.
Right.
So it's we want to do something a bit different, as we like to. That's one of the perks of not being a exact genre. You can kind of just drift in and out of stuff you want to do, and we want to get Stu involved for a song because his voice is just like, I love him. He's just a lovely gentleman.
Yeah,
and they did madness on that song. They did wonders.
I know Ephion.
Yes. He's a lovely gentleman as well.
Best bassist I've ever seen live.
He's mad. He's mad.
I'm like, why are you going this hard, mate? There's like 20 people here.
Perform everyone like Wembley.
Doing all
I know that
I'm
feeling.
Like, fucking hell. Yeah. But yeah, he was in Doom from day one. And they kind of split into 4 different pieces, like Harbinger and Creeper and all that sort of stuff. I need to get him on, actually. I keep kind of fobbing him off. Bless him. Shout out Ephion.
Big up.
So yeah, Gravity's a fucking banger. Very
Thank
upbeat.
you very much.
No worries, it's all good. So, quick question. I think it's from Dysfunctional Wonderland.
Okay.
Who the fuck is Kenneth Dopeland?
So, the song was initially named after a drug that's mentioned in the sample at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be that, almost like we want the song to be nuts. Like, what can we call it? We want it to be fucking charged. And it's like, well, that's a great name for it. And then we thought, like, there's probably, like, in the era that we live in, there's going to be some, not backlash, but problems getting it out to particular areas because of the name. So me and Charlie were infatuated with Kenneth Copeland. I don't know if you know Kenneth Copeland.
Right. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because he is ballistic, right? So, like, we just thought, well, that's a level of crazy we weren't expecting to, like, go down. But it kind of the feeling of what we were trying to come across with the song, it was like, well, we can't just name it Kenneth Copeland. So we kind of collaborated the two. I think it was literally a meme. I was like, Kenneth Dopeland. So I was like, that's it. We're calling it that.
Love it. Yeah, there's a drummer. Well, the drummer of the Police is called Stuart Copeland. So I thought it might have been like a mix of like loads of different celebrities or musicians all in one sort of song. Sort of
that would have been far too clever for us, mate.
Yeah,
far too clever.
Another question about Dysfunctional Wonderland. Do you guys play Dear Hazel live?
We never have done. Not that like anything's off the cards, because you just never know when an opportunity might come up to do so. But we haven't done. We haven't done, no. Big up my mum. Lovely mum.
Right, I was going to ask you about that as well. Yeah. I imagine the crowd, like, providing obviously you've got them on side and they're all sort of there to see you as a headliner or whatever, their energy will like slowly start sort of bubbling up, and you got that sort of crescendo thing where it all turns into chaos, and I could just see it now. Yeah,
we've never done it live, but we do love to throw a spanner in the works every now and again. So I suppose just never say never.
Go, you heard it here first. So I looked on your Spotify, and according to your Spotify, correct me if this is wrong, you've released 2 full-length albums in the last 2 years.
Correct.
How the hell have you managed that?
So I think the first one was Dysfunctional Wonderland was recorded. Don't hold me to this. I'm pretty sure it was basically just before COVID, and we were going to release it as that happened. And then everything locked down. No one's releasing stuff. No one wants to do so because you can't tour it, right? And we basically wrote that album to go out and tour it. So what we did do June, because of, as you mentioned, Gravity earlier, because it had such a kind of positive message, like a real today's my day kind of vibe to it. We wanted to like this is the right time to drop at least that, because like, and that's why we got friends and family and fans involved, like make the video. Like we wanted to be collaborative, so we kind of picked a few people out and like sent them the song earlier. Like, do you reckon you could do like a minute long? And everyone's at home like, fuck yeah, just give me anything to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a few videos from people, and then I learned iMovie on a MacBook and like just kind of whacked it all together. And yeah, that was Gravity. And then so obviously after that we held on to that album for quite a significant amount of time. So we're kind of like waiting for the tour, and like 2021 seems to be a bit more positive. So then we dropped, but obviously because of like the gap between that, we're like, well, we finished the album a year ago. We could have another album done like easily, right? So we did that. So we just went back into the studio because it was right. Nothing was forced. Like we just had we felt we had the right material to just get another one out there.
I'm hearing that a lot at the moment, where bands and artists release an album and they've immediately got album 2 or album 3 kind of in here. And it just seems like this constant sort of chase being an artist, where, you know, if you can't pull your phone out and write it down at that exact moment, then it kind of dissipates and wanders off, and you're like,
I feel that. I've woken up like 3 in the morning, like, fuck, I need to just get this down like now. Just like it could just be like a line. I'm like, I need to just get that down before I delete it.
You a fan of Devin Townsend at all?
I'll be honest, I am very new to Devin Townsend. I was obviously aware of Strapping Young Lad, and it was more from just Isle of Wight metal kids wearing the t-shirts.
Yeah.
And then we went to see it. Well, obviously we saw him at Bloodstock.
Okay.
Bloodstock and Arctangent as well.
Oh, right.
So saw him at both of those, but Bloodstock on that main stage was like my first live Devin Townsend experience, you could say, and I was blown away.
He's fantastic. I've only seen him once, but
oh really?
He's one of my dream guests on here. So, but yeah, the reason I ask is because he occasionally will wake up in the middle of the night. He'll pull his phone up and he'll just go, because he's got this song in his head, and he's like
trying to get a melody out almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, honestly, this sounds like a fantastic tool that you can sleep and think of things. But if that then becomes kind of work, then you're not really sleeping fully. You're kind of like half in, half out of consciousness. And he mentions that quite a few times in his sort of guitar clinics and his songwriting workshops, because the way he sort of approaches songwriting is he kind of murmurs lyrics, and then he reverse engineers what he thinks he thought he heard, and that will be the sentence, the verse or the chorus.
It's a very interesting way of doing it. So almost like mapping out there's something, and I go, well, I just need to also like connect these dots now with coherent sentences. I like that.
Yeah. So it'll be like, soon I found a way, which, you know, by itself in isolation doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But he is very one-man band, and he seems to make it work for himself. But yeah. So what's the process for you guys when you write songs? Is it one person thinks of everything, or the guitarist thinks of a riff and then lyrics get added on afterwards, or is it completely different?
Even pre-COVID, it was always quite remote's the wrong word, because obviously we do take these ideas and we go into rooms and make them happen, but our writing process has always been quite remote. So it usually starts with one of two ways. Either Charlie's written a synth that then goes to a guitarist because I've got an idea that I could put over that, or a guitarist has got a riff and Charlie's gone, I reckon I could work that into something I'm working on. And then a thing is born of like, it could be like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Words tend to fall with me, so I'll take that, sort of put a story behind it, I suppose you could say, and like just make it a thing. And then once it's at that stage, we then go, right, well, that bit could be shortened, or that could be changed. So then we then take that 2 minutes, sometimes 3 minutes, and go, right, well, let's re-engineer this and let's make it something. So it's always been quite an online collaborative remote. And sometimes it'd be a case like Charlie and a guitarist might get together and they'll make something together. But usually it's a case of quite similar to what you're saying, like the idea's there, let's get it done now.
Yeah.
And I'll send it out to the team to see what can be made.
Yeah, collaborations has definitely stepped up in the last like 15 years, I've found, because I used to sort of go into a band room with 4 other people and sometimes stuff just wouldn't come out. and you would just rehearse your set, and occasionally halfway through the set someone would come up with a variation of a riff, but sometimes there's just nothing in the bank in person, so it's always good to have stuff stored away for a rainy day, as it were. So
exactly that. Like, you never know when that's going to come to you, so like have the stuff ready when it is.
So with Nozomi, is that the correct way of saying it?
It is, yeah. Was how we've been pronouncing it, so apologies if it is incorrect, but
so the song Metaphors immediately made me think of Japan. It had a sort of baby metalness to it.
I think definitely that vocal sample has a thing on that, and it's, once I heard it I was like, this is catchy. I think this we could, and it doesn't need anything on the chorus. This is you let the sample, you sing that.
And the song Lost at Sea, I'm reaching a bit here, bear with me. Do you think being near the sea helps you write songs that are like nautical, or
I suppose it's hard to say because I've never not lived by the sea, if that makes sense. Well, I've got no direct comparison to go like, no. Now, I suppose the good thing of living down by the sea is it's a great, you can reference it to a lot of things. There's a lot of different weathers we see, but there was that day, and like the perfect reference was just that being lost at sea. So I think that your answer is yes, but I don't know if I can argue it with a no, because I just don't know. I've just always lived by the sea.
So if you suddenly up sticks and move to London, there would be a song called Concrete Jungle, or The Grind. Grind set 24/7. Underground tube. So how many people are in Seething Akira? What's the total number of people?
So members, you've got 6. That'll be two guitarists, bassist, drummer, 2 vocalists, 1 does electronics.
So nowadays, we obviously know this from the inside, but it's not enough to just show up at practice and play drums, or show up at practice with a microphone. Everyone in a band nowadays needs a second function. Do you all have a second function? We
all work full time. One's got his own business, but the majority of us work full time. I'm very fortunate that I work from home, so that's a huge factor because I've got everything I need just at hand. We all work, and it's
So does a set person in your band look after social media, or bookings, or artwork, merch, etc.?
So it's we have designated like a 6-way business. So like everyone's got their role. We've got our money guy, we've got our design guy, we've got the booker, the social media guy, the merch, as you said, so everyone's got their own little job.
Do you ever switch the jobs, or are they very much sort of I drive the van?
So the van's a funny one because a few people do drive the van, but Simon fucking loves that van, man. And it's like, I didn't even know this. So a friend of mine did the MOT on it recently. It's got like over 800,000 miles. It's an old Royal Mail van, and he adores it, and it's pink because obviously the red's just worn down, and it's been a very reliable van for us.
800,000 miles.
I don't hold me to this. I think it's closer to 860,000 miles or something of that nature. It is a huge number. I can't wait.
If you can send me a picture of that, that will go up on Instagram as one of the pictures for the post for this episode.
I need to, remind me. Yeah, it's mad. Absolutely mad.
I love it. Flipping egg.
I suppose going back to your question, everyone's got their job. The van thing was funny because Simon's usually like, no, I'll drive. It's my van. I've got this. But we have mixed things around in the past. It's usually because the 6 you've got isn't our original lineup. Of course, things have changed. So sometimes you just try and focus on people's strengths. And that's their job, kind of thing.
Yeah. I was press ganged into being the sort of social engineer with bands if there was a bit of tension where the singer and the drummer weren't on the same page. So I would, I think that was something that Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses did, because I've always just played bass.
Okay.
And I was happy to do that sort of mediation in a band. But when you're also booking gigs and trying to sort logistics, and at that point in my life, I couldn't drive. So I was kind of just asking my friends if they could drive us to Bournemouth or drive us to Southampton and play a gig. And I fucking hate being the middleman. I really, really don't like it. But sometimes you just got to be that person to sort of link everything together, you know?
It just needs to get done. And like people just kind of, I know it's like, oh, we'd love to be the music. Yeah, I'd give anything for that. But
yeah,
it's not, it's just that you can't. So yeah, you've always got that thing. So I think my thing is always, I'm accommodation guy. So if we're going on the tour, I'm like, I'll hook us up hotels, get all that shit sorted.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just logistics.
Is there many rehearsal studios in Portsmouth?
So there are two. There's probably a lot more than that. There's two that we've used, Casemates and Old Blacksmiths. We usually practice either here or like Worthing, Brighton Way, because we've got members literally split.
Okay.
Tends to be in the favour of a Portsmouth because of availability and because of time. So we can just get a whole day kind of not when we want it, but with a week or two's notice, we want that for the whole day.
And is it relatively affordable? Is it each band member pays £6 or does someone sort of front it or?
Obviously what tends to happen is we've got a band account, so the first payments, just so no one's out of pocket, immediately goes into that, and then we just tend to chip our contribution into that.
I can't imagine how like music studios must have changed since when I was sort of playing bass, where you'd always give the owner of the studio cash, whereas now it's probably like, oh, just PayPal me the full amount and then I'll disseminate between band members and they all give me £4 or something. But there's always one motherfucker that's like, oh, I haven't got £4.
Yeah, so that's what we've been up to, mate. What we've been up to. So yeah, going on to suppose the modernisation of that, we've got one that's like you book on the line, the payment's just done.
Right,
okay. It's just paid for, and then the other one is just like professional card machine. They've got like a cafe and stuff there as well. So
yeah,
good practice rooms. Both are lovely.
Fair enough. I find music studios to be like a sort of hub where everyone sort of culminates, and Weymouth was very not bad, but it was very rife with cover bands. Because people would come on holiday to Weymouth and they just want to hear Bryan Adams' Summer of '69.
Yeah.
So we would have this weird sort of cross-pollination of originals bands and cover bands. And at the heart of it, obviously, the passion for the members is, we want to play music.
Yeah.
But I always found that original people had this kind of beef with cover bands because they didn't really sort of deserve the fame that they got because they would pack rooms out in music, like in areas in Weymouth with live music, whereas an originals band would play to themselves.
We've been there. We've definitely been there.
Yeah. So do you find Portsmouth to be a nice sort of hometown environment, or do you have a sense of we're the underdogs and we still need to sort of prove ourselves in this area?
I think like lived in Portsmouth, love living in Portsmouth. I think that when we first started, Portsmouth was kind of like a very set in its ways music scene. You had like genres that did well in the city, and that was it. And then you come out of nowhere and like we're electronic rap metal, and it's 2010. So it's like there was that element of, I think, just we probably just not understood, and that's why we went further afield. We kind of just chucked shit at walls and just hope that it stuck somewhere. Was kind of the way forward, and we did well. I think we did well Southampton wise. We do well in other cities, and Portsmouth has, luckily, the music scene's been doing bits at the moment. So like big up Kai and Sarah for Takedown. There's lots more gigs going on. Icebreaker as well is a huge event. So it's really brought that music scene back over that last 10 years. And like there's a thing here now, and it's cool. And I'm glad it's back.
Yeah, I did go to Takedown. I thought it was really good. There was a lot of bands though there. Like I was almost spoiled for choice because my two favourite bands at the moment are Sleep Token and In Me. And I was like, what do you mean they're both playing 2 hours away from my house? Like this is mental. And then you've got people like Jamie Lenman and Loathe.
Love Jamie Lenman.
And Confessions of a Traitor, who I've had on previously.
They're lovely chaps as well.
Seb,
did a little run with them. Yeah.
Yeah. The only criticism I had with Takedown, and it was probably because it was the first time they'd run it in that Guildhall, was the band merch tunnel. It was like this sort of crowd crush thing where there was other ways around it, obviously. I've mentioned this to Mike, who's the bassist of In Me. But I just found sometimes that if I just wanted to quickly pop to the toilet, I'd be in this like subconscious crowd for about 20 minutes, and I might potentially miss half a set.
Got to crowd surf it. Just got to hop on top.
To the
The pit
toilet.
never stops.
Take me. So did you play Takedown?
We did, yeah. We played the Guildhall stage, the main stage, and it was just after Red Method. It was incredible for us. It was obviously like not all of us are from Portsmouth, but I mean I've lived here long enough that it does feel like my city. So I was super proud to be on that stage. Obviously Charlie is born and bred Portsmouth, so he was just in his element. And even just being on the south coast, like the Portsmouth Guildhall is an iconic venue. So to get the opportunity to even play it is just it was out of this world. I'm gonna have last. And my mum was there, she loved it. So yeah, happy days.
Hindsight's 2020 because I didn't really know who you were then, but I do remember when I heard Lost at Sea on Spotify, I was like, I do recognise that chorus from somewhere.
Oh, so we nicked it.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
I don't think so, but you just never know, right? So like
you're like paranoid now, like looking over your shoulder.
Man, I'll be researching for hours after this, like
check your inbox, you've got a lawsuit. Fucking hell. I shouldn't have gone on that podcast. Jesus. Right, we're going to go to a quick break because we've got about 6 minutes left in this one. So we'll just join the other meeting in the other email that I sent you. And then we'll get straight into the fan question from Dan from And.
Wonderful.
So yeah, bear with. Cheers for listening so far, guys, and see you in a sec.
Do you need that extra burst of energy? Do you need motivation? Do you need that X factor? Well, Go Energy has you covered. Whatever gets your juices flowing. Whatever you need to let your hair down. Have a go at it all with Go Energy. Gluten-free, vegan-friendly, and no artificial additives. Goat Energy. Use code BEDLAM10 at checkout.
And we're back. So the question from Dan, the singer of And, who have recently ditched the morph suits. Go check them out, guys.
Fair play. Love And.
Yeah. If you were a monster, what is the most threatening amount of teeth you could have?
Oh, so this answer, I go one of two ways because it depends on the size of the tooth, right? Because you could have 4, but then 4 are just gonna fucking destroy. But then and it depends on your target, right? Because if you're going with something big, you kind of want multiple teeth to cause optimal damage. If you're gonna like rip and rotate, all these little teeth causing all their own little damage, that fucks shit up. But it's such an odd question because it depends on I didn't think I was gonna be thinking about this answer as much as I am, but here we are.
Yeah, I love it.
It depends on the prey. It's probably the best way I'd put it, because if I'm trying to take something bigger than me down, I probably want the 4 huge teeth to like really sink and like rip that. But if it's kind of like a size for size, I think I want similar to like shark. I want rows of sharp ass teeth so I can obliterate.
Is it crocodiles that do death rolls?
Yeah, you see them like just. I remember seeing this is fucking back when the internet was a wild place. Seeing a video of a crocodile that thought another crocodile was like a bit of meat, so it just like took its leg off in like a second. And you're like, fuck that. And you just see people in Florida like just putting them in bins and stuff. Like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I ain't fucking with that. I ain't touching it.
Man. Yeah. God bless people like Joe Rogan who will basically get like someone like Post Malone on, and they will just sit around a table for 3.5 hours and watch the wildest animal videos.
Nice.
There was one, I think there was like some guy in Louisiana, of course, and he like left a bar and he was obviously a bit drunk, and he went for a piss around the back of the bar, and this crocodile just straight up came and just took one of his legs.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck me.
They're mental. It's mental. Just what I find mental is like that stuff exists. We know how dangerous they are, and you do just see people like just patting them on the head. Leave that shit alone. Stop it. Just stop it. Like,
do not go near that. Yeah, you're in that thing's territory.
There's no good that can come from that scenario.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I could see a beer advert getting made out of it though, where like the crocodile gets offered a cocktail and he's like, hey, and like some Mexican music plays, and it's the new campaign for what's it called? That tequila beer.
Oh,
Corona. What's it called? Desperados.
Desperados.
Corona as well. Yeah, I need to try that Corona 0% because I want to see if it's as good.
I haven't tried that. I know Guinness 0% is a great little substitute. I'm quite a Guinness fan, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot about non-alcoholic stuff at the moment. Yeah, good stuff. So, just to sum up, what do you think is the ultimate optimum amount of teeth?
I think there's more use for multiple teeth, so I'm going to go per meter of jaw. So I think that's a good measure because it depends on the size of the animal. I'm going to go 200. 200 per meter of jaw.
Jesus, it's a hefty dentist bill.
You wanna
Like that.
fuck shit up. You wanna, that stuff is to protect, right?
Yeah, yeah. Just defend, don't attack.
Yeah.
Because you'll only have to defend a couple of times if that thing starts provoking you and you've got 200 teeth. So,
exactly that. But if you're 2 meters, that's 400 teeth. Cause some hefty shit going on.
So from teeth question to probably the deepest question in the podcast.
Okay.
What keeps you motivated to keep creating art? What sort of wakes you up in the morning? What gets you inspired to go on stage? What's the why behind the band?
I speak personally on this particular one because obviously, I don't know how the other 5 feel, but for me, it's I can't imagine not. Life is, to me, about creating. It's about sharing. It's about doing what you do. I adore being on stage. I think that to me is Stephen Akira's art. That is the records are fantastic, and I'm very proud of what we've done. I think without the shows, I question whether we would ever just be an online band. I don't think we would, if I'm being very open and honest, and this is my opinion on this. I know I'd struggle. I do it because I enjoy the shows. I grew up going to gigs. I grew up going to festivals. My mum's done 9 or 10 download festivals. It's been a part of our family culture. And it'd be bonkers to but then how do you get to these festivals and get to play it? Well, you've got to create, right? I'm not saying that's the only reason. I love getting it down and having that record, but my personal opinion is Stephen Akira's art is live. That's where Stephen Akira is their art.
Yeah, I get that. When you are on tour or when you are playing lots of shows in a row and potentially just doing a weekender or something, when you've loaded in, you've sound checked if you're headlining that night, what do you do to occupy that 5 to 6 hours? Because you can't veer out too far, but you also don't just want to sit in the venue on your phone. What do you guys do?
And again, everyone's got their own ritual. I know me and Charlie are quite similar in what we do, so I'm going to use me and him as the example here. First thing is food, because we've got. If you eat an hour or 2 before, it's just in your stomach, and you don't want that. You want to be as clear as possible. And we eat relatively light. Sometimes we don't. It depends on how much we've eaten in the day. But get some food in you because that's going to fuel you for the night. And then we'd usually just go to a bar, to be honest. Take it slow, have a few beers, try and find a cool little local area, have a couple of drinks, and then probably go back, set up merch, and just start doing your admin there and get yourself ready. I know Simon, our guitarist, he loves to warm up, so does Spud. So they'll be back an hour or 2 before anyone, instruments in hands. I like to have a meal and have a couple of drinks to loosen the old cockles,
Yeah. Bit of Dutch courage, but not complete shit show.
Exactly that. I make up we're alcohol fueled. I'm literally drinking a beer now, so it seems like I just fucking drink all the time. I promise that's not the case, Mum. But I've done shows sober and it's fun. But I always think about when I'm at a gig and I have a couple of beers, and that's kind of, to me, this is a great way to get free shows. So I'm like, sick. Let's have some drinks, let's have a good time. And I think there is an element of Dutch courage behind it, but I think majority of it for me is it's part of that environment. It's what I enjoy.
Fair enough. Favorite place other than Portsmouth to play in the UK, or have you been further afield and played somewhere like Europe?
So Europe is something we've done. Frequently is the wrong word, but we tend to do it annually to some degree, whether it's just a one-off show or it is a little tour or a little run. And Belgium has a very special place in my heart. Big up my brothers in Liège. It's just a wonderful city. I feel at home there. If I was ever gonna, not that I ever would, because I've got the little one. If I was ever different era and I could move to another country, I'd be in Liège straight away. It's beautiful city, great people, everyone's welcoming. We've had a blast there. You're just treated as a human, and everyone out there is just they're just amazing. Big up Liège.
The question, sort of to follow that question, is: would you still want to go to Belgium as someone that's just on holiday, or would you see it as work in air quotes?
I have planned to go out there before, and it's something I will do. And I'm thinking actually when little one hits an age that she's not going to be an absolute shit for a 6 7 hour journey. Like once she's at that age, we'll go out there. Yeah. Because there's some really cool stuff to see. Not even just Liège, but we drive there, and to me that's what makes that area so special. We get the ferry, we get off at Calais or Dunkirk, depends what's cheaper, to be honest, and we make our way there. So there's things I'd want to do it that way with her. I've got like a transit, it's literally got a double bed in the back. It's nothing special, but I'd like to do like a camper trip where we maybe hire something and we'll just go drive it 4 or 5 days and just go see what we can find. That real adventure. But yeah, Liège would be the target, just so we can go there and I can just show her what I love, and she can meet some of the people that have just been a huge part of Steve Akira.
Yeah, one of my plans is to go to Germany with Casper and my girlfriend, because
nice.
I've had a great time. I might as well just expose myself because I've mentioned this a few times already, but Pokemon Go.
Oh, you are talking my language.
Playing it.
Oh, really?
Have you got an active account?
I am 41 lucky trades away from hitting level 49.
Oh, okay. I'm level 44.
You've got to do the little challenges to get up. So
I think all of mine are GBL.
I did GBL. I basically just there's a method. I'll tell you off camera. There's a method, but I'm the lucky trades, because who in their 30s in Portsmouth are playing Pokemon Go that are just like close friends of mine? Nil, by the way. There are nobody. Yeah. There are people in the city, but I suppose it's just finding the time. It's not like my brother plays it, but very infrequently. It's not like there's someone in my life that we can just smash out Pokemon Go together.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck on the trades, my friend. I'm 3 mil over cap now. I should be at level 49, but here I am, stuck on luckies.
So from memory, I think I've got 7 lucky trades, but they're all with people locally to me. And we cannot agree what we fucking want. Because all of us, we grind semi-hard. We're not like super out all day because we've got jobs.
Yeah, of course.
But we can't agree on what we want from each other. And then you've got the whole mirror trade, so you don't lose out. So if someone sends you a Metagross, you want to send them a Metagross in return. Yeah. But that list, man, is not going down. It's stayed at 6 basically since like February 2020.
Fuck. So, we are very lucky, by the way, that Charlie's not on this call, because he drills me all the time about going out.
Hey!
Oh, he's like, he just goes out, no, have you caught them all yet? It's like, no, I haven't caught them all. There's some regionals I need to get, and you've got to explain how you've got to travel to certain areas of the world. It's like, ain't happening.
Region locked.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to add you on it, and you'll send me some gifts from Belgium, right?
Done, mate. I tend to always take over the venue that we play as like a gym. It's usually always a gym, so I always just take that little one out.
So the reason I mentioned Pokemon Go is because I went to Dortmund for Go Fest.
No way. Sorry,
yeah,
it's incredible.
And I went to Seville in Spain.
Nice.
And Berlin for one day, literally in and out. But Dortmund was really nice because it was like a week. So it was like 1 day Pokemon, 6 days exploring and getting on the train. And just, I love Germany. I think it's fucking awesome. I was quite apprehensive about going because I thought everyone would be like nasty or like angry.
It's so odd.
But they're just not.
They're lovely. We did a 2015. We did a 7 or 8 day tour out there, and it was they're so accommodating. They're so loving. Like they're really into their music. You just great people.
Might actually be able to hook you up with a band from Germany called Pathwalker.
I mean, if we can get to Germany again. Might be going out there again next year, but we're not sure yet. So we'll see.
Yeah. That's it. It's all about networking. There we go.
Yeah.
So, next question. Do you find it difficult to find other bands that sound like you, as you have quite a lot going on in your music and the tracks can change quite quickly? But on the flip side of that, I think it's quite refreshing to hear. And sometimes you go on these like variety tours, don't you? Where it's not just death metal for 4 hours. You know, there's a bit of a breather. But do you guys struggle with that aspect of touring, finding the right support slots?
We used to very, very early on. I don't think, and again, it's that whole size to location thing. So we weren't big enough to go out on our own UK tour in 2011, 2012, because we're a new band, right? So you're kind of restricted to what you can take. So we've done things like we closed an acoustic day. That was odds. Yeah. We basically cleared out the venue because they've been listening to some really chilled, like James Blunt shit all day. And then out of nowhere, we just turn up and there's a drum kit and there's this and that. And like, we're playing a wine bar. And it's like, what are you doing here? It's just like, but now, like, the only way I can explain it is and I think it's been worded in other ways before. Like, we live in like an iPod culture, right? We live in that playlist culture where, in the same like list of things, you can have Ice Cube and then Napalm Death, and it just goes from A to B. And because of that, I think that genre definition is kind of, it's still there to a degree for like a labeling perspective, but it's not a restriction anymore. So I suppose long answer to your short question, we used to, but not anymore. There's some great music out there. There's some great people doing some great things.
Are you guys on a record label?
Not anymore. No. So we're very amicable.
Self-managed
Self-managed at the moment. Just album 4 is nearly ready.
Well, if it's ready in February, hit me up.
I will indeed.
We'll get Charlie on, and we'll what's the word? We'll pounce on him to get him to download Pokemon Go by the end of the podcast.
Oh, immediately! I'm so in on that. I'm so in.
Let's do it. Right, musical questions are over.
Cool.
Do you believe in the paranormal / ghosts / superstition / bad luck or anything of that nature? And I hope that you don't collect crystals.
I don't collect crystals. You're pleased to know. It's a big question, you know, because I used to be superstitious, and then I realised that the good never really came. If not, that sounds so like depressing. I know it does, but like,
I know what you mean.
Like the not doing that didn't affect my life in a way that made it better. Similar way to like walking under that ladder or breaking that mirror didn't make me do anything bad. Like, so it's, I think I almost saw the logic behind that. I was like, I can't really believe in this because like all the good stuff doesn't cause good and all the bad stuff isn't making me bad. So it's like, I think it's probably just hearsay. The whole like ghost things, paranormal, my mum does believe there's like in something of that nature, but I struggle without at least something. I'm quite a results driven person when it comes to that stuff. Like I almost want to see like, okay, cool. Like if there's a ghost, like cool, let's see it.
Yeah, I get you. And literally every photo that's ever been taken of a ghost was like shot on a potato.
Yeah.
Same with UFOs.
Mate, anyone that lives near Bigfoot just owns a Nokia 3210 or something. Like it's mad.
Yeah, it is. And you think nowadays, you know, with cameras everywhere and cameras like I can now take a picture of the moon. Whereas 5 years ago that was like what? Like, you know, I've got to bring a DSLR out and hope that I can get a picture of the moon.
Not anymore.
But yeah. It's a crazy world. I do have a bit of a theory because I'm a bit of a believer on the paranormal.
Okay.
That you are a bit of a torch, and the more you allow yourself to see, like you sort of open the.
So the more, like the more the lens opens, the more light's allowed in. I suppose it's very similar to a retina, right? That the more your eye lets light in to try and focus the darkness. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that signals potentially to like spirits that you're susceptible, and I think that's why kids see ghosts because they don't know what's right and wrong.
My little one woke up the other day, came into my bedroom and was like, "Daddy, I saw a ghost." I was like, "Where was it?" And she just pointed up the corner, like above my bed, like up there. I was like, "Cool." I was like, "So it liked me." She said it liked me. It's like, oh, did it? It's like, did it like me? She went, no. I was like, right, cool. So I've got a ghost just living around my bed, like, just hates me. It's like, sick.
Fuck's sake. Oh dear. Might need to get some crystals, mate.
Yeah, I think I've got a little shelf up there. Maybe I'll just get some around.
Yeah.
Lavender, just flicking it around.
Sage. Fantastic. This is the stupidest question of the podcast, but I'm not going to apologise because I've had some really good answers from this so far.
Okay.
Here, when you take the bins out, do you know which bin you need to take out? So Monday night is recycling. The following Monday night is household waste. Do you know, or do you look at your neighbours?
I 100% look at my neighbours.
Okay.
And it is that thing, right? They could all be fucking with me, and I'd have no idea. But Portsmouth, they do. So yeah, it's your normal bins one night, and it's bins and recycling the next night. So I think if the black bin goes out, you can't really fuck up with that. But the green bin, I look down and just get a general consensus of like 80% of bins green down here.
Yeah.
70% of bins are putting out, because otherwise you're gonna do is just not touch it, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. Well, I sometimes if I'm not sure and I've done it too early, let's say for example I'm away on for a week or something touring, I'll just put both out, and whatever happens. Like council property, right? So if they get fucked up or whatever, like, sorry lads.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So you're not a bimfluencer.
A binfluencer.
Binfluencer, that's what I call them. The people.
Shall I start fucking with my neighbours and like start putting them out on the wrong days? Like actually like get a spreadsheet ready and go, oh, today's not green bin day, but I'm gonna go out at 3 PM before anyone else done theirs. I'm just gonna put them both out and just see what happens.
I like it.
I like that. That's an evil bin plan. That's a real binfluencer.
That's an Instagram story waiting to happen. Looking forward to seeing the journal of the bin. Do you have any questions for me at all? I'm a bit of an open book, so if you've got anything for me, then fire away.
Yeah, I suppose kind of flipping you asked a really interesting question about the motivation and the drive. Like, is there one for the podcast? Is there something that like makes you think, fuck, this is what I want to do. This is what I enjoy doing.
So I've always been quite ambitious.
Okay.
And I've just started, like, during October 2020, during lockdown, I just got so fucking bored of just doing nothing. Right. And where I come from a musical background, I've always got this sort of itch to scratch. Okay. And I'm quite extroverted. And I love talking to people. And I love talking to people about subjects that I actually have some authority in.
Right.
So I think music's a good thing. But next year, ABP is going to go quite flip. And it's going to go sort of comedians, fitness people, personal trainers, people that have been in the football industry or something like that. I've probably worn out the music for a couple of months, and then I'll get back on it
until the band game shows come out. You know, the band game shows going to bring that spark back. But that's really cool. The diversity of like bringing in other areas. And I suppose if I was to ever do something of a podcast nature, I'd almost be interested in what I don't know. I'd be like, I want to bring someone on about a subject that I have no fucking clue about. Yeah. And like explain to me like I'm a 5-year-old, because I literally am clueless. Like tell me why, tell me when, tell me how. Yeah, I dig that. That's a really nice approach.
I also like the chase. And I don't mean this to sound like I'm just networking my arse off, but if I know that a certain YouTuber with 5 million subscribers does a collab with another YouTuber and their Instagram profile shows that their email address is this@this.com, then I'll get the lesser YouTuber on and I'll try and get the massive, like, big Billy Bass. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's just how it is. That's just how you've got to work it, really.
It's not what you know, it's who you know. There's a saying for a reason. Like you've got to be out. You can't just expect like, oh, because I grew up with him, it's my mate. Like no, you've still got to put the work in. You've still got to go out there and actually speak to people. But once these people are on board, they're mates. People look after each other, right?
That's it. I also quite like helping local business as well. I think that's quite important.
I'm a fan.
So like promoting products and stuff for people and stuff like Goat Drinks, who sponsor the podcast. There they are.
Big up.
All their glory. I've sent you a message about that, actually. I'll send you some. if you fancy it.
Nice. I'm in. Thank you very much.
Energy drink that isn't like Red Bull or Monster, and it doesn't give you a sort of come down or a sense of regret when you drink it.
That sounds exactly what we need for our Jaeger bombs. Maybe it'll bring back to the table.
Let's do it. But yeah, to answer your question, I just enjoy it. I don't think this is going to make me millions and millions of pounds, but there's a saying, you know, if you enjoy your job or you enjoy your hobby, then you never really work because you're just sort of sustaining your appetite for it. So I'll keep doing this as long as it's fun.
Good. I think there is, like, I talk probably more personally here, I think there is an element of outlet to that as well, like being able to go and just get yourself, like, do that expression. I think that's a podcast also seems like a very interesting way to do that as well.
Yeah, I think there's a certain element as well where you want to give everyone you know a shout out. But unless you've got like a solid foundation community, which I'm still working on, then people might not necessarily go and follow that person like I've asked people to. So you want to sort of give people a hand up, but you also need to have a hand up in the first place to be able to give people the spotlight. So I like helping people, really. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I feel that.
So, Kit, from Seething Akira, how do you want to be remembered?
Just that annoying little shit that wouldn't leave us alone. Just like he kept poking that bear. He's in his 30s, he's lost his hairline, but he's still just on that stage, just dancing around like he's a teenager. Like, never lost the youth, I think is the thing. Like, you're here once, so fucking just live, man. Just fucking live. Just don't worry about things. I know I say that as like a father and like a full-time employee that's obviously in a property that I need to pay for and stuff. So there are elements of responsibility, but within reason, I say within reason, fuck it. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I would not be reasonable. Yeah. Needs must, right? If you've got the capability, just live to it. Have fun.
You'd be assembling a creature with 400 teeth.
Yes.
And
200 per meter. So let's work on size, shall we?
Like... It's like a really weird creature version of Robot Wars.
I actually watched I think it was come up on Netflix, the BattleBots series.
I haven't seen that yet.
It is like Robot Wars but Americanized. So take that as you will. It's a very nice. I've got fuck all else to do day, so I'm gonna watch robots hit robots. But now, it's amazing. Big up BattleBots.
Something me and my son watch quite a lot on Netflix is The Floor is Lava.
I've seen that. That's great. It is. Yeah, I think I don't know how many series are on there, but I've definitely done 2. I'm sure I've done 2.
3 or 4. Some of them I just wanted to fall in the lava because they're so fucking annoying.
You deserve this. You deserve this.
That's it. Exactly. Last question. Just basically, the floor is yours. Promote whatever you want. Any bands that you think deserve a shout out? Any instrument companies? Any endorsements? Anything that you've got going on in the future? Completely up to you. You got about 8 minutes. So
huge shout out to the fans. It's got to be day one, right? Whether you've been with us it's technically 15, but as a band, like 8-9 years that we've been around. Honestly, it means so much. You're still here, you crazy motherfuckers. What are you doing? Like, and thank you to promoters, the festivals that we played, the people that are behind the scenes. Big up Judith Fisher, big up Sarah and Kai, like Virgin. There's going to be loads of people up getting this, and I'm really sorry. But if you've ever worked with us to any capacity, we love you, man. Like, you just, you make it happen. Big up. Short and sweet.
Hell yeah.
And I suppose like we have got some new music coming soon. I suppose I better talk about that. Some new music, some festivals, some shows. 2024 is going to be big. We've got some plans.
Fantastic. So lots more podcasts, lots more interviews.
Yeah, let's have it. We're having that game show, man. The moment you're hooked up, I want to be top shot. I want to be number one. I want to be there first band. Let's have it.
I'll make it happen.
Done.
But yeah, this has been Absolute Bedlam Podcast. This is probably the start of season 14 now. Season 13 isn't fully uploaded yet. Bear with. Marty's got a life. And to be honest, I'm surprised he hasn't blocked me on WhatsApp at this point, the amount of times I chase him for stupid shit. But I think and have got some massive things coming as well, because I know that you know them quite intimately.
Yeah, I bought their shirt last time we were there. And big up on doing the unrobing, the unmasking. I don't know how they're wording it, but
the
fair play.
Thing.
The boys have made some serious music for some years, and it's about time they got that recognition as they're a fucking serious band. Let's have it. Can't wait to see what they do.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, this has been fantastic. Thank you very much, Kit, for your time. It's a very precious commodity that we have as human beings, and I appreciate you spending it here.
Really enjoyed it, mate. Thank you very much for having me. It's been a blast.
That's all right. Up next, we've got Defences. We've got Cherry coming on in 2 weeks. So,
nice.
Hell yeah, let's do it. And then I'm done for the year, and I can actually go sleep. So yeah, cheers, guys. Right, yeah, so drop a subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Drop this a follow if you're on Spotify and all that sort of stuff. All right, bye.
Do you believe in their lies? Do you believe in their magic? Subliminal messages force-fed over indulgence till you're dead. Do you believe in their lies? Do you believe in their magic? Subliminal messages force-fed over indulgence till you're dead.
Absolute Bedlam.
Hey guys, it's John here from Absolute Bedlam. We just wanted to take a moment to introduce you to our brand new Patreon. If you head over to Patreon now, you can get access to behind the scenes footage, ad-free content and episodes. You can even send your own requests in terms of the content you would like to see us create. All of this is available to you and more. We've got free options available to you as a patron with us. If you just want to support what we do and help build the Absolute Bedlam experience, a small fee of £1 a month, you can do just that. If you want to get access to that ad-free content, those ad-free episodes, for £5 a month, you can join the Hive. And if you want all of that and more behind the scenes footage, commission works with us, live Q&A sessions, for £10 a month, all of the madness, all of the chaos of Absolute Bedlam will be yours. So head over to Patreon now, become a patron, and join the Hive.
Absolute Bedlam podcast. Who? What? Where?